Nehawu has filed urgent court papers with the Labour Court against the Department of Health. They're demanding that health workers be provided with personal protective equipment while dealing with the COVID-19 outbreak. For more on this, we cross to our colleague Mbongeni Muthwa at the Labour Court in Randfontein in Johannesburg. A very good morning to you, Mbongeni. Have the papers been filed?
Well, the papers have been filed. The hearing is scheduled to begin at 2 o'clock, which is not a long time from now. But the interesting thing is the Labour Court has been closed ever since the lockdown. It's only been accepting urgent matters. And this particular application by Nehawu is one of those. As you can see behind me, this is the main door of the Labour Court. The main entrance, it's closed. There's the entrance to the parking on the other side where the judges and the lawyers come through. The doors are also closed. But there are a few Labour Court employees, including the registrar of the court, inside as we speak. I managed to speak to her earlier on about this particular hearing. And she mentioned that this hearing is going to go ahead at 2. It's going to take place virtually because the judge who's going to be presiding over the matter is not here in the court. So she was saying that it's going to have to be done via Skype or something. And the interesting thing also is that apparently this has not been done here before, because she was saying that there is no facility or technology at the moment that is available that can be used for this virtual hearing. So she said she's waiting for the parties, some of the lawyers of the parties to the matter to arrive after 1, and they will together converse and decide how exactly this matter is going to be heard at 2. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how it actually goes ahead.
Mbongeni, do you think the courts will consider this urgent in an environment where the unions have been in constant contact with the health ministry and the minister, and some assurances have been given in terms of the provision of protective clothing?
Well, what we know is that there seems to be a shortage when it comes to protective clothing for health workers. There's a shortage of gloves, masks, sanitizers in some instances, and that has been acknowledged by the government. The Deputy Minister of Health, speaking at the ministerial briefing on Friday, did acknowledge that there's a challenge with regards to this because he said most of these items have to be sourced from China, and there's a big demand at the moment. Virtually all countries in the world are scrambling for this, and there's a shortage everywhere. But when it comes to the substance of the matter here, in as far as Nehawu is concerned, when we spoke to them on Thursday, last week Thursday, when they were preparing to file the court papers, they said their frustration lies with the refusal by the minister, that would be the Minister of Health, we suppose, to actually sit down with them as Nehawu and discuss the crisis or the shortage around this matter. They say they want the court to force the minister to sit down and discuss with them, and whatever they discuss and agree with should be binding as per the order of the court. They also mentioned that at the union, they have taken the initiative themselves to source some of this equipment, this gear, the protective gear. They've managed to get their hands on a lot of this equipment, but they want it to be approved formally by the government to say, okay, this gear is legit, it's proper, it can be supplied to the health workers. That is what the General Secretary of Nehawu said to us last week as being the crux of the application. So we're waiting to hear at 2 when this matter actually begins, exactly how they lay out their case in terms of what their gripe is exactly in as far as the government is concerned. We understand that they've cited the Minister of Labour, the Minister of Health, and also the provincial MECs of health in the 9 provinces. So also how those parties are going to be able to take part in the hearing, where they're going to be able to join virtually, and how it's all going to be seen when 2 o'clock comes around.
So a historic virtual hearing, you say, never been done before at the Labour Court?
From the conversation that I had with the registrar, she did say clearly that it will have to be done via Skype because the judge is not here. But she said she doesn't have a facility for that herself, so she doesn't know exactly how it's going to be done. And that gave a clear impression that this has not been done before here at this court. So we'll see if they manage to pull it off and exactly how it's going to happen.
Well, we await to see that. Mbongeni, thank you so much for that update. Let's take a break. You're watching